quite frankly, you will have no church if you continue this kind of thing, because people will get sick and they will not come to church again. But let me just speak quickly on this idea of the mark of the beast, where the whole theory coming from.
Yeah,
all
very
right?
important.
Look, listen, the mark of the beast serves two purposes in Scripture. When that particular theory came about, or prophecy, if you will, it was only for one purpose. I mean, two purposes, if you will. One, it was intended for the worship of the beast. We were to worship, I mean, those who will be alive at that time will worship the beast and be devoted to him. Okay? And this can be found in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. You read that, go all the way down there, you're going to read it. So this is purely a conspiracy aimed at destroying mankind. The devil has been on this campaign for ages and centuries. The church should not fall into it. And so the mark of the beast is different from COVID. COVID is it is a medical procedure. Okay? It's not a religious experience. This mark of the beast is purely a religious thing, devotion to the beast and worshiping of the beast. And mind you, even at that, the difference there is that with our foes, you were required to take the mark, be killed. But this is not with COVID. COVID is you are at liberty to not be vaccinated, except that where employers are coming up to say, look, if you don't take your vaccine, you might not come to my facility. You might not work over here. All right. So I, like myself here, I have a school in Liberia, Blessed Kids International, right on Banner Zero.
Yeah.
I tell the employees from here, I tell them, look, I encourage you guys to take the vaccine, because you will be helping to save the students that come in your classroom. So this is the problem. We just need enough education. The church needs enough education on this matter. This is the only thing I have to say. That's where the problem is.
And Pastor Kamara, quickly before I bring Mr. Arthur, right? Pastor Kamara, I want to ask you this: if you were in Liberia during the time the COVID just started, and then the government instructed that all churches should close, worship centers, by the way, should close and all of that. But then you heard some other churches saying that their members should send their tithe or offering through mobile money. So the interpretation became two ways now. Is people started thinking that either the church is more concerned about the money and the lives of the people in the church. And so, would you have gone ahead to ask your members, amidst the COVID-19 situation, say, okay, you know what? Since we're not gathering anymore, send your tithe or offering through the mobile money, or better still, let's assemble about 50 or maybe 100 persons, breaching government's protocol. Which one would you have, done in order to demonstrate that you are a peaceful citizen and, a man of God that should be preaching peace?
The first thing, thank you for that question. The first thing, I will obey the government, because that's what Scripture says. In Romans chapter 13, we are required to obey government order. Okay, that's the first thing. And secondly, I want to say to the church community in Liberia, crisis come to reveal your true identity. And when those kind of things are happening, to me, it just revealing what the church is about. Whether the church is there to preach salvation and to see to it that people are saved and give them good education that will help them to understand who God is, what their faith is. That tends to be revealed. And that was just a revelation of what you just said. If the church refuses, or a particular church refuses to obey government order, then you should know where that church stands. And then focusing on money, it also reveals what this church is all about. Okay. The church business is about winning souls. Salvation is our mission. And once we deviate from that line of work, then of course we are running into trouble with God and man.
Thank you,
That's why the confusion is coming about. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Passaway. Let me bring in, Mr. Arto, Mr. Daniel Arto, quickly. Thanks again, sir, for joining us on the program this afternoon. It's truly a privilege. Mr. Arto, who's a BS and MS in biology and clinical, is a clinical laboratory scientist, graduate from University of Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia, University of Rhode Island, Providence, and so on. So I can go on and read and more and more. But, Mr. Arto, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us this afternoon once again.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I just want to say that COVID is real, and the transmissibility of transmitting COVID is also high.
Yeah.
Our people have been manipulated with a lot of conspiracy theories, and it is not helping us at all. We need to encourage our people to practice safe distancing, wearing the mask, and doing what they need to do. This virus is deadly and spreading. We want to contribute to the system of Liberia. So we have come together, some of the panelists and board members, for us to launch an online school to train our people. So we are really actually targeting graduates from the university that have science degree and people that graduated from nursing school. We want to target these people and train them and make them to be the next generation of innovative scientists.
Mr. Arto, quickly, sir. The school, Kingdom Innovation School of Science. A couple of days ago, the University of Liberia took an action. Took a decision to ask students to do online studies, at least 60% online, 40% traditional. This led to protest here, and some students were brutalized in the process during the protest. You're talking about an online school, giving the poor network connectivity in our country. I doubt whether we are using 4G. Maybe we are around TD.5 or TDG. You think Liberians, young Liberians, going to benefit from this school? Across just Liberia and other countries.
So we have several options.
Okay.
One is that we are also going to have these lectures pre-recorded and sent to Liberia. But besides that, we are looking into having a global internet that we can use for our students in Liberia. So each student will have their own modem that they will use.
You're gonna supply that?
We have both options.
You're gonna supply the modem?
Say that again.
You're gonna supply the modem?
Yes, yes.
Give us a little background about this school, because I know that, well, I'm not trying to digress from the COVID-19 discussion about preventive measures and other things. It's very important for us to look at that. But I think moving forward, we should be looking at recovery plans. I think this school is one of the plans that we can use, one of the things we can use to recover from COVID-19, that young, innovative science students will have an opportunity to improve their understanding. Give us a background. What brought about this? Why now?
So it was like 30 years ago that I got a scripture from God that came to me. And this scripture was in Daniel 12:4. And it says that, "Thou, O Daniel, shut up the word, seal the book. Even to the end of times, many will run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So based on this mandate, I have been burdened and overburdened as the vision bearer of this group. We came together. We've been working several years to have this group register. We have people committed to teach.
Yep.
So we are ready to go. Probably early next year, we're going to be launching. We now have the next stage in this process is to conduct our feasibility studies, which we were just about to do 2 months ago, and then everything went amok. But we are still on course, and I'm happy that I can see light at the end of the tunnel, and it's giving birth. I can't wait to see the healthcare system in our country improve, and we can do it. I know we can do it.
Mr. Atto,
that's why we are here.
Let me bring in Dr. Passaway quickly. Dr. Passaway, I want to ask you another COVID-19 question, but you can come in with the school as well. Some of the things that we've heard here, it did science, a technology in the country, so we can blend everything together as you are. Dr. Passaway, as you're coming in quickly, can one get, the COVID-19 virus through the vaccine? Because these are some of what a misconception, I don't want to say that. Well, these are comments that we've heard from here. So maybe you can just also blend the school, be important, more, beneficiary to some Liberians. Dr. Passaway, please.
So I'll address the vaccine first,
yeah.
Then I'll come to the school.
Yeah.
So the issue is for a vaccine to be able to infect someone, the vaccine has to shield a component of itself, either in or outside the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, either the vaccine has to carry a weakened version of the virus, but this is not the case of the coronavirus, the vaccine.
Which one of the vaccine you actually referring to? Because we have two types of vaccines now, sir. We have the Johnson & Johnson, Liberia.
One of them. The Johnson, the Pfizer, and the Moderna. Those three major ones.
Three.
The one I know about.
Okay.
Some are messenger RNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another portion they use what you call viral vector carriers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those three ones that I know about, they don't carry a component of the vaccine or weakened version of the vaccine, which could shield a component of the vaccine. Okay, and two, just to clarify, so you cannot get coronavirus from the vaccine. All right, so that's the first thing. It is not possible. And two, just another conspiracy theory is that the vaccine can alter your DNA. That is not also true. It does not. It's a messenger RNA, and it's an instructional messenger RNA. It does not alter your DNA, and that has been another conspiracy theory.
Okay,
but the school play a pivotal role.
But sir, please, kindly, before you talk about the school, sorry about that. Yeah, let me quickly get in. Now, this vaccine, the vaccine in question, some of the things that we have also heard about the vaccine. Well, I just want to connect quickly. Now, is it possible that because Africa is struggling to produce our own vaccines, we've struggled. Madagascar tried something and brought this herb, and I would like for Dr. Brookfield to also come in on that. The World Health Organization did not recognize the Madagascar herbs, and so meaning all along we've been drinking Kojologbo and other things, then we've been surviving, but we are not permitted. We do not have what it takes to produce vaccine. Can we blend traditional methods and the vaccine? Or if not the vaccine, is it possible that one can resort to using, traditional remedies in ensuring that you prevent yourself from COVID-19?
I can speak to that.
Okay, no, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, all right.
The tricky thing with this virus is right now we do not have anything that will kill the virus.
Right.
Nothing. Not anywhere in the world. After thousands of scientists studying for more than a year, nothing. So the best we can do is we see the symptoms that it causes: headache, fever, shortness of breath, cough, stuffiness. We can treat those symptoms. And all of the traditional things, ginger, garlic, steam, breathing in steam, those are wonderful for the symptoms. They will not kill the virus. The Madagascar remedy is actually an ancient remedy that's very effective against malaria. But malaria is not COVID. Malaria is a different organism. It's like you can't take apples and make orange juice. They're different things.
I know.
So those things don't work against COVID, but any traditional method to relieve those symptoms is good.
All right. So, Dr. Passaway, please come in quickly, and there you can deal with,
Yeah,
with the
so
school.
thank you,
Yeah.
Matthias. So just to underscore that, one thing we need to re-echo here, that homemade remedy will only improve some of the symptoms, but it does not provide cure.
Improve symptoms.
So our best bet we have, globally is prevention, wearing the mask appropriately, social distancing, and washing their hands.
Okay.
That is our best bet, and that's what we need to encourage the people to do. Now, the school can play a very pivotal role in our health delivery system because we need to foster evidence-based medicine. Very important that we transition to evidence-based medicine. And the school, our goal is to equip the students so that doctors can have the tools they need to make the evidence-based medicine. So there where the school play a role post-recovery, aiding as partner, coming into partner with the health delivery system to improve evidence-based medicine in the country.
So evidence-based medicine, I would like for you to throw more light on that. Some of the young people listening to you right now may just relax now and say, well, Liberia is about to get to somewhere. It's an online school, meaning students from other countries can log on and register and attend the school and obtain degrees, right?
Yeah. Well, but right now, I want to focus on Liberia.
Question.
Yeah. So that maybe Daniel can address that. But our initial focus, if I'm right, Daniel, is Liberia. And then we'll use that as a model and then learn. Then we're gonna do expansion.
Okay.
Right, Daniel, you can control light.
Yeah. Mr. Arto, do you have a property, you have a space here right now that you intend to build a structure that in the near future, after we have gotten rid of some of these viruses, and so we can get to sit down in a hall, in a classroom, and do our studies? You just go further to expand on other things, other points you may want to make, Mr. Arto.
Yeah, we have an office on Kesali Boulevard, where we're working. But this school is going to be international. It's not going to be restricted or tied down to one place. So most of the students will be learning at home, but we intend to bring a couple of students together as a group at somebody's home where they can learn and interact with each other. But when it comes to evidence-based medicine, because that is where I come in. So before, most of the time when patients come to the doctors with symptoms, they can be from several sources. So the doctors give like a blanket treatment or drugs to treat those conditions. But now medicine has advanced and changed to the point where it is evidence-based. So for us as scientists, doctors see a patient and send us specimen, and we are able to determine what the symptoms that the patient experienced and where it came from. So we look at the cells, we look at the chemistry, we do a lot of things when it comes to clinical science. We are able to narrow it down so the doctors doesn't have to guess. To say, is this malaria? Is this typhoid? The doctor knows, because we are like detectives for the doctors and scientists. We give the evidence. It's not a guessing game again. Medicine has advanced, so we need to advance. So we will not rest until we can make our country healthcare system comparable to the rest of the world.
I'm receiving a number of text messages from friends that, look, Matthias, you're having one of the best conversations ever in the program, because the education you're providing here to the public, the school is coming, and all of the scientists you have up there, they are providing so much education. But I want to bring in Dr. Brookfield quickly. Dr. Brookfield, would you mind, educating the public? Why is it that we have a virus in the word COVID-19? This particular school, by the way, is one of for me is the most important thing I would like to emphasize on more. But we have COVID-19, we have to provide the education as well. So, Dr. Brookfield, you're also going to come in with the school issue and provide education, why it's important, what extra difference is expected to make in the Liberian population. But why are there so many vaccines, different vaccines? Like for now, we have about 3 vaccines, and so for one virus.
Oh,
why do we have about 3 vaccines for one virus?
very good. There's more. There's almost 10.
10 vaccines now?
Because it was an emergency in the world, not just in one, but in the world. So many companies and thousands of scientists all started working at the same time to make a vaccine, because there's many ways to make a vaccine. And some of them succeeded sooner than others. Some of them did not work at all, so that we don't hear about them anymore.
Dr.
that
Brookfield, quickly, what would you say to people who would say that listen, the word has changed? Yes, of course it has changed, but usually when we do invention like what we are going on now with the vaccine and all of that, you have to first of all use text it. Is that the case with COVID-19 vaccine, or is just brought down?
Hang on, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Okay, asking is that, are humans used as lab dogs for the vaccines that have been produced, or they are tested properly before they are brought up to the public? Because those are some of the things that people are saying, that they do not want to take the vaccine because they are being used as lab dogs.
I understand, and there are clinical trials done in humans, but they have to understand the process, and they have to give permission. And there's 3 stages. The first one is to determine, is the vaccine safe, and is it effective? Because if it's not safe, if it makes people sick, we're not going to move forward. Then the second trial, again, we're looking at safety in a broader range of people. And also then we're trying to determine the dosage. Is it 1 milligram? Is it 10 milligrams? Is it 1,000 milligrams? And that's more complicated than it sounds, actually. And then in the third clinical trial, is tested on many, many thousands of people. And they take the vaccine, we record all the symptoms they got, and we record their antibody levels, their protection levels against the virus. And this is exactly the same procedure as any vaccine, but because usually when you make a vaccine, you have to get in the queue and wait a very long time for approval from the government. In this case, in every country in the world, as soon as a clinical trial was completed, to the front of the line so they could get approved and move forward. Anything available to the general public, an experimental vaccine.
Okay, Dr. Brookfield, Harris, Harris, yeah, before you come in, Mr. Passaway, Dr. Passaway, before you come in, I would like for Dr. Brookfield to quickly comment. How is the Kingdom Innovation School of Science going to, help Liberia recover from, other health crises, as far as, impacting or educating young scientists, is concerned?
That question is best addressed to Mr. Atto.
Okay, that's right. So, Mr. Passaway, Dr. Passaway, yeah, please go right ahead before I bring in Pastor.
Good. I just want to buttress what Dr. Marie said regarding and the question you raised about the time spent for the vaccine, and people are concerned about that. In addition to that, another factor that play a major role is the issue of funding. There was a lot of funding. So funding was not a constraint in this case.
Okay.
All right. So in addition to what Dr. Marie said, Dr. Buttress, that funding was not a problem because it was a pandemic. So you have a lot of organizations, billionaires putting money into this vaccine. So that's another thing that really pushed it to the front, in addition to what you said.
Okay. So Reverend Pastor Kamara, quickly, the school. Let's hear you on the school. You've not commented on the school. What difference is it expected to make? We have, I don't want to mention other medical schools here, because we're talking about Kingdom Innovation School of Science. What extra difference is this school going to make to improve the health sector of this country?
You mean Daniel? I can talk on it on the. Let Daniel speak.
Okay. Please, Mr. Atto, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I just want to add to what my colleagues said. This coronavirus. A lot of other countries have been interested in it. So there have been studies before even the outbreak. So that was the cause that it was speeded and fast. And as Dr. Passaway said, the funding were there. There were goodwill. So research and development was taking place at the same time. So nobody should be afraid to take the vaccine. It's safe. and good for everyone to make every one of us safe. This school is going to be a very advanced online institution that will train our people to handle any challenge, any outbreak, any epidemic. This is not going to be the last outbreak. There's going to be more. So we are going to train our people, and they will be ready for the next outbreak that we will do better than other countries.
Okay.
I can tell you that for sure, Matthias.
Thank you. So as the time is gradually creeping away from us, just stay there right now. Let me give you another one quickly. So we're talking about COVID. We're talking about this school. We're talking about some contribution. The board is an opportunity to have the board members, 4 persons line up on on this Zoom discussion. What do you have currently that you intend to send back home here? As far as donation is concerned, to help fight against the COVID-19 pandemic in Liberia. Maybe after you, Dr. Passaway, can come in, or maybe Pastor Kamara as well.
I would just quickly add that just today, simultaneously, we have distributed masks to some slum communities and some institutions, some schools around the country. Our team Liberia was out today in the public distributing masks. For now, we intend to do more to help our people. The goodwill is there, and we are going pretty soon. You're going to see us out there doing more and helping our people.
Okay,
Let me.
Yeah,
you will be the last of Dr.
Pastor Kamara, go ahead. Pastor Kamara, go ahead.
Let me chunk this thing in. Look, I have been to Liberia more times. Where this school is coming in, besides the medical aspect of it and the scientific aspect.
Oh, now you can speak on the school now, right? Earlier you avoided
it. because the leader has spoken.
I know. Go ahead.
Follow his lead now.
No.
So we working with him now. What we are trying to do also, I am more interested in the educational aspect of the whole initiative, whole program. Liberia, listen, if we properly educate our people how to even take care of themselves, how to safeguard their own environment, how to bring about sanitation, good sanitation in their own personal environment. I think we will go along with this whole school system. We have done its work. So I am looking at the help. That health educational area is because I am an educator. My whole life is education. I really have passion in education. I believe that nothing can really make meaningful sense, meaningful development in any nation without the sound educational program for the people of that country. Okay, just to conclude here, I was looking at Rwanda.
Yeah.
Look, I've been studying about this country. To be honest with you, I was fascinated. I almost said to myself, I want to be citizen of that country.
No, don't be.
Because no, I won't. But I mean, that was something that I said. But look what they are doing to themselves. Everyone in Rwanda, from the village all the way to the rural area to the cities, everyone is educated enough to know that their country development lies within their own backyard.
Yeah.
It lies right in their backyard. And so that education is, to me, is what I want Liberia to have. And when we have that, I think everything else will fall into place. So this is what
So you are closing up already. So you have 30 seconds left. Just close up with it within 30 seconds.
That's my closing.
All right.
Education.
Thank you so much, Pastor Kamara. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Dr. Passaway, take it on from there, please. You two have a minute.
Yeah, good.
We usually say ladies before gentlemen, but this time around,
Okay,
no. Dr. Passaway, stay there, please stay there. You do that. So the
You
Dr.
sure?
Dr. Breakthrough gonna come, and after that we close up with Mr. Atto. Please, Dr. Passaway.
So 1 minute. The point I want to inject here is
Mhm.
that the school is not going to operate in isolation.
Right.
Normally, the laboratory serves as the auxiliary arm. So we will, as Daniel said, presently we are in having focused discussion with nursing schools, and so that we will serve as the auxiliary, not as working in isolation.
Okay.
The laboratory work hand in hand with doctors, nurses, and the clinical system.
Right.
So I just want to clarify that we will not do it in isolation. We will meet with the major partners, and we will collaborate to ensure an effective and a smooth running health system. Thank you.
No, please stay there. You still have you still have some time. You still have some time. Dr. Passaway, why do you think the education of Liberia's population is vital to its growth, as Pastor Kamara, intimated?
Very well said. Like if you look, I just want to stick to the primary healthcare approach.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
If you look at even China was able to eliminate a lot of illness simply health education, primary health care approach. Now, considering our country and our GPD rather, the best bet we have to improve our indicators is the primary healthcare approach. And a bedrock is health education. Preventative services all over the world is cheaper than curative services. But the reason most people don't invest in preventative services is that poor behavior changes do not come up very quickly. Like example, if you have malaria, you're having fever, chills, they give you anti-malaria. In 2-3 days, you are showing improvement.
Yeah.
As opposed to behavior changes, it takes a long time to see changes. So most people are not willing to invest. But for us as a country, Liberia, our best approach would be primary health care approach.
Thank you.
And so that is where we, as a school, there's where we come in as an auxiliary arm. And again, I want to emphasize we're not going to function in isolation. We will collaborate. So there's no need for fear.
Thank you. Because
with partners.
I'm just thinking right now. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thinking that, these kind of professionals on that show this afternoon, I think some of them have to start closing our medical schools in this town because we have scientists about to open a school. But anyway, I know, like you said, you're not going to work in isolation. You have to bring everyone on board. Thank you so much. Dr. Brookfield, she loves Africa. Dr. Brookfield.
Yes. I have a red passport. It's my second home.
Oh,
I live there half the time.
Yeah, the next time you come, I'll take you to Lufa County and serve you a bowl of tobogi. But please, a minute.
I love tobogi.
You like tobogi? Anyway, let's go on now. Let's wrap up.
And it does not bother my stomach. Everybody says, it doesn't bother your stomach. No, nothing bothers my stomach.
I know. Dr. Brookfield, let's go ahead. Finally, Dr. Brookfield, what do you make of this innovative, idea that's being, brought up by Mr. Atto and his team? You are also a member of the team. Dr. Brookfield, please, quickly, just a minute.
I think all over the world, the solution to poverty and the advancement of a society has been associated with education.
That's it.
So, that's it.
That's it.
And you knew it. Will you just leave it like that and I move on to Mr. Atto, or you still want to make a point? You knew it. Thank you so much, Dr. Brookfield. Mr. Atto, there you have it, please. A minute.
Yes. Education is actually our solution. There is no way any society can develop and grow.
No way.
Without education. So, just briefly, this school that we are launching is it's going to be a clinical laboratory science university. So it's going to consist of several courses, but the initial 4 courses that we're going to deal with will be cytology, ultrasound technology, dialysis technology, and clinical chemistry. These will be the first 4 courses that we're going to start with, and then later on we'll branch into other colleges. But quickly, these are the way the school is going to run We're going to run it for 18 months. They're going to be accelerated, schedule, program, and structure. So we're going to have classes 5 days a week from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 p.m. every day. So the first 15 months will be theory.
Mhm.
And then the last 3 months going to be the practicum. For practicum, I know people are asking, how can you do laboratory school online? For the practicum, we have arranged, and we have people in the diaspora that have committed themselves to come to Liberia. So we are going to ship everything that is needed, reagents, equipment, everything to our students, which will be accompanied by the teacher that will be doing the practicum. It may be for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and another person will come. But we have everything narrowed down and planned that by the end of the 18 months, we will have the first best online institution in Liberia that will create the next generation of scientists. And we will not rest until Liberia becomes a hub to produce scientists, just like Cuba produced doctors and Philippines produced nurses. We can do it and we can achieve it.
Thank you.
And no more sending our people to Ghana for treatment.
Ghana.
Oh my
So
God,
you're right,
that hurts. That hurts me deep down in my soul. Thank you so much.
But you see it every day.
I know.
People go Ghana.
We have to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on. We're certainly going to reach out to you again for another conversation. It's a pleasure. And I also want to add to what you people have said with this motivational message from Dr. Carter G. Woodsing. I know my guests are still there. From Dr. Carter G. Woodsing, the author of the book, The Miseducation of the Negro. And he said, when you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. So the best thing you can give to a generation or to a nation is education. Give a nation education, quality education, to control them, how to respect their laws and be good citizens. My name is Matthias Labindi.
And you've just listened to Night into Heart. That's not into Heart right here on Sky 107.1 FM. It's 4 o'clock. Let's not switch to breaking news.
Of their foreign ministers to discuss evacuation efforts and the next steps to take. The United States and NATO allies have been flying their citizens and their families